welcome to Homemaker Living. Today's the day I finally get to plant my cold weather seedlings. This spring we've had some really wacky weather. We've had some really low temps in the 20s at night, very windy days. It just hasn't been optimal for me to get these seedlings in the ground and feel comfortable that they're going to do well both at night and during the day. So right now I have a small window of opportunity to get them planted. I normally would plant on a full cloudy day so that they don't suffer at all. And so I have a semi-cloudy sunny day. But I have to take that opportunity because we're going to have a storm coming in the next couple of days, and then next week's supposed to get much nicer and heat up, and then that would be a really awful day to plant. So I'm going to go ahead and do that today. I usually grow all my own seed starts from seed. I start them in the house usually in February for onions, and then based on my last frost date and what I plan to grow, I will plot it out on the calendar of when I should start seedlings so that they are going in the ground at the optimal time. These seedlings, these brassicas and lettuces that I'm planting, actually should have maybe gone in the ground a couple of weeks ago. I was just looking at my camera roll last week, and my brassicas were already like this big. So I feel like I'm already a couple of weeks behind. So I'm really anxious to get them in the ground. When I do this type of production planting, and I'm not talking about just planting a seedling here and there, but when I'm doing a bed that has all the same type of plant in it, I will go ahead and plan it out before I start taking the seedlings out of their cell trays. So what I've done is I've gone through and I have watered all the beds so that when I dig those holes, the soil's not falling back in on the hole. And then I'll take some rocks and I'll plan out where those particular plants are going to go based on the size of real estate they take up. I want to make sure they're far enough apart so they're not shading each other, but I also don't want them too close to the edges because I do have a pest that a lot of people are bothered by, that white cabbage moth. And so she will lay her eggs on the leaves of those brassicas. And when those eggs hatch, they will be little green caterpillars that will then munch on those leaves, which can, decimate the plant if you get an over infestation of them. So what I always do is I cover my beds with ag cloth. It's a sheer cloth. I have it on that bed right now. It's a sheer cloth that the rain, the water can get through, the sun gets through nicely, but the cabbage moth can't land on the plant itself, so that really diminishes her options of laying her eggs. However, I experienced last year, if the leaves are touching the inside of the ag cloth, she can actually lay her eggs through the little fine mesh of the cloth onto the leaf, and then you will get your cabbage worms on your plants. So this year I'm going to change my method a little bit, and I'm going to plant them closer together on the inside and monitor those leaves. And if there's anything touching, I'll just go ahead and take those leaves off. That does leave me a lot of extra room on the sides of my bed on the outside emitter hoses. So I will go through and I'll probably use that part of the real estate for some kind of companion planting that is not bothered by the cabbage moth. I'm not sure if that will be onions or carrots or something that doesn't take up a lot of space, that maybe could take a little shade if they get a little shading from those plants. But at any rate, I'll try to use that space optimally and not waste it. So let me show you what I'm growing and then we'll get started. So this year I have two types of Napa cabbage. I have dinosaur kale. I'm also planting, what do I have in here? Two types of green cabbage and a red cabbage. I have broccoli, and I have two types of cauliflower, and then here's my butter crunch lettuce that's going to go in a different bed. I'll also plant these in succession. I don't really want all my broccoli and all my cauliflower to be ready at the same time. I'd really love to be able to eat it fresh. I can freeze it, which I did last year, but I'd really like to eat it fresh as long as I can. So I'll do some succession planting. Here I only have 3 broccolis, but I have more started. And after these get to be a little bit of a size in I don't know, a week or two, I'll go ahead and pop the others in the ground. So hopefully I can harvest from these first and those last. So I'll give you a little closer up look at how I planned out the bed, and then I'm going to get started digging those holes. I have 3 beds for brassicas. So in this bed, I will start off putting that Napa cabbage that gets really large right here, and then followed by 5 broccolis down the center. And then in this bed, the same thing, very large Napa cabbage there, and 5 cauliflower going down the center. And then in this bed that I have the ag cloth already on, because that's where I was hardening off these little guys, same thing, Napa cabbage there, and then I have room for 10 green cabbage and combination red cabbage in here. I'm going to put in a little of this alfalfa meal. Anything that is a green leafy vegetable, so these are cabbages or the Napa cabbage, they can benefit from a little bit more nitrogen. It's not a ton, it's only 2.5, but a little bit more nitrogen will help them grow the green. He looks good. Not too root bound at all. And now I'll give them a really good watering. Try to just get kind of down low, not on their leaves. They were all pretty wet except that this Napa cabbage was dry. So I need to watch him. I have my little tags here so I know which cabbage is which. That started with my tiara green. This is my red. I have another red in the house to put in there. Of course, I have more green, so I might find a spot to stick them or put them in a container. I'm not sure, or give them away. We do like our cabbage. Last year, I actually used wood down on the mulch. I laid wood down here on this, so it was nice and taut, because I know that cabbage moth can try her best to get in. The other thing I'll do is, because it's sunny and I shouldn't be planting on a sunny day, I'm going to put this shade cloth on it, which it's either 50% or 70% shade cloth. Clamp it. This one off. And then I use these little office paper clips, these little clams, to secure it on the end of this hoop so the wind doesn't blow it off. And I will keep this on here probably for at least a couple of days while it's going to be sunny, broken, cloudy, sunny day. And then today and tomorrow, then we're supposed to have clouds Sunday and Monday and rain. So I'll take it off. I'll leave the ag cloth on, the white one, because of that cabbage moth. But I'll take this one off because it's merely for shade. And I'll come back out here and take a peek at them. Make sure they're not fading. If they are, I might throw another one on and give them a little bit even more shade. But usually I don't need to. Usually they do really good. Let me give you a shot of them inside here. I'm not sure if the cloth will impede the image at all. Maybe I'll go underneath. There they are, all planted and tucked under their shade cloth. Wish me luck. I'm going to start by getting this bed prepped right away so that soon as I get them planted, I can cover them quickly like I did the other bed. Here, let me show you how I do this one. Pull it tight on the sides so that little moth can't try to climb underneath it. Twist, 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 and then pull it up. Okay. All right, so now I've got this all fit the way it should, so it's easy to use. So now what I'll do is just get it ready so I can get them planted. So I'll just pull these over like this, get it set up to be like that bed was when I started. I'll just hold that down with these clamps, like so. Kind of bending this one a little bit, but I just got to work with it. Okay, so now I'm ready to do the same process I did in that bed. Here's a look at them all planted. There are 2 Adona cauliflowers. Then the next 3 cauliflower, I did not write the variety down. And then here is the large Amico cabbage that we love so much. Okay, this one's all now tucked away. Of course, the clouds come when I get the shade cloth on, but it'll pop back out. I am not absolutely 100% sure that using this ag cloth with these clamps will keep the cabbage moth out. She is pretty assertive in getting to the brassica plants. I've used bags before that I've put over like my kale if I just had 1 or 2 in my small garden, or a Brussels sprout, and it just cinched that bag up at the bottom, the same material, and I'd find her in there ever so often. So she may try to find her way underneath here. I may end up using the wood to hold it down, but I don't think she's going to do anything with this double layer on it right now. So I'll just keep my eye on it. And I'm just going to finish that last bed, but I won't bore you with that. It's just much of the same. Now all I have left to do is finish this bed. Yesterday I did a little seed sowing. I put in some beets in this area, leaf lettuce and romaine lettuce here, and radishes on this end. And now all I have to do is put in my seedlings, which the butter crunch lettuce is going to go in this area, a few kale in the middle, and then I have some small Napa cabbage that's going to go on the sides. I've got 4 baby Napa cabbages on the outside. I have 3 dinosaur kale in the center. Then I put all the butter crunch in the center here. Then I've got some other lettuces I planted seeds. This kale might be a little close to this lettuce, but as it gets bigger, these lettuces may be done. Well, I got a lot done today. I got 4 beds completely planted, got all my brassicas in the ground. I do have some leftover. I have to figure out what to do with that. I got all my butter crunch in this bed as well. The only thing I didn't get to were my peas. I have 3 kind of peas to plant, but I'll get to that tomorrow because I've still got that window of decent weather that I can get those in the ground. If you found this video helpful or any parts of this video helpful, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to the channel so you can follow me as I plan out my garden. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.